Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I got a new dirt bike. This is a 2025 yz450f. Reason why is because the Cowie, the 2023 Kawasaki KX450, it kept feeling like a lowrider to me. The back end just like kept sagging. I am 208 pounds, so that has a lot to do with it probably. But when they launched the new Yamahas, they had mentioned that they changed the linkage, and a lot of it was to keep that rear end up a little bit higher, add a little bit more traction to the front. I just wanted to go over it with you guys, just give you guys some of my first impressions. I guess if you guys are buying one of these from your local dealership, maybe take some time to mess with your cockpit a little bit. I brought my electronics in. They were over here next to the grip, which was, and then just controls, rolled everything down. I don't like grabbing like my controls too far in. I like being a little bit farther out. So I do run my levers a little bit farther in than most people probably. And then the buttons I just didn't want to touch while I was riding. The start is the same. I move my clutch out or in. So I'm not grabbing my front brake right here, and I'm grabbing my front brake more towards the outside, because I'm usually not jammed up here causing blisters. So that's just the way I like my stuff set up. I may move the start button back, I don't know yet, but I don't mind it over here. I just give it a little, I mean, these bikes start right away, so there's never a problem starting, and as long as I have one or two fingers on it, it fires right up. The one thing I did know is these electrical wires, they were going under the bars, and that was causing, I couldn't really spin my clickers because these things come with cool little clickers, and so that was just kind of bothering me. And same with this one, it was going under the handlebar, between the bar and the suspension, and when I'd go to move my clickers, it was bothering me quite a bit. I don't have much space in there, but I'll get to that later. Also, the throttle cables, they were on this side of the bolt, and if you can read here, it says throttle cables go to this side, and I don't know, maybe it was just my bike and it's not that big a deal, but when the throttle cables were over here on the left side and I would turn, it was pulling these throttle cables quite a bit. So just make sure that your throttle cables are on the right side where the arrow says throttle cables. I did get a bar pad. Red was all they had, which I don't mind. My goggles are red and my boots are red, so the red one wasn't super out of place. No, don't want to sound like a little sissy over here trying to color match, but I was like, the red one's fine. If they had a blue one, I would have bought the blue one. And these are stock bars. I'm enjoying the stock rise so far. No issues with them. The only thing was when I did take this bar pad out, my clamps, one was tightened all the way. So I'll show you guys what I mean. And this was kind of scary because I rode with this like that for a little while, but the gap over here was completely smashed, and then there was a big gap on this side, and it was like that on both, so completely smashed and a big gap. And these bolts were like almost hand tight. It was kind of scary. When I put the wrench on them, they just like loosened. I own a mountain bike shop, so I work on plenty of mountain bikes. I'm always installing bike stuff. But even in the moto world, you definitely want the same gap on both sides. So you want it to go down evenly and clamp evenly. And when you're completely torqued down, you want a gap on both sides of these, or at least very close to where you get the same amount of torque on both bolts. So check that. And then right now I got the roll just level. I may go with some Carmichael bends because I love a low front end. Again, I mountain bike quite a bit, so I do like my front end low and flat. But that'll all change depending on the track you're riding. So right now I'm riding a lot of arena cross, and so that's kind of the big change that I've made to this bike. Is you can see here that black dot, that's where these forks were stock. I've actually bring them back. I bring them up like an additional 3 to 5 millimeters maybe. So they're pretty high. It does make the bike handle quicker, but I got the forks pretty stiff, so it doesn't quite feel as nervous. But since I'm riding an arena cross track a lot and I'm only like in second gear the whole time, I don't get up to high speeds very often to make the front end feel nervous or crazy. I have noticed though, when I run this softer, the front end will feel a little bit more unstable. So the, and I might bring these back now. I'm still experimenting with all this stuff. So yeah, that's just kind of brief description of what I got going on. Rear end's feeling really good. I may have to get some suspension work, but I don't know. I'm 3 clicks out on my low speed, and I'm 1 turn out on my high speed. So I can still go a little bit stiffer, but not much. But I'm just gonna leave it alone because it's actually working pretty good right now. I have, and then on my forks, I'm about 5 clicks out on my rebound. So again, pretty slow on my rebound. And I'm really stiff on my forks. I'm maybe like 5 out of 20 clicks. So if you clicked all the way in as stiff as you can get it and clicked out 5, that's where I'm at. And this has 20 clicks out. So if you wanted to go all the way soft, you'd go 20 clicks all the way out. So I'm only 5 out. So I'm more on the stiff side. I might go stiffer, we'll see. But right now the bike is actually handling really good. I really like where it's at right now for my track and arena cross. Outdoors, I'll probably drop these forks, maybe go softer, we'll see. So right now I don't need any suspension work, and the bike is feeling really comfortable. I love everything about it. I love the power, I love the maps. I am just running the stock map, so just all zeros, and I have my panic rev, what do you call it, rev limiter set to 7,000 RPMs. Stock is 8,000, and I still don't hit the rev limiter at 7,000. So I just set it there just because I do rev off of some lips and stuff, little jumps and little doubles, and I kind of like it to hit that rev limiter right before I hit the ground. I don't know, it's just a cool feeling, but it also makes me feel safe on the bike. Where when it never hits the rev limiter and it just revs out really far in the air, it's kind of scary. But yeah, that's it. That's so first impressions. Love the bike, excited about it. The biggest thing from the Kawasaki that I feel right now is that the rear end is holding up. The front end feels a little bit more stable than my Kawi, but also the lightness, the weight of this bike is crazy. It feels really light. I was actually thinking about going to a 250f, and I'm glad I didn't, especially weighing 208 pounds, because I just feel like I would have been really hard on a 250 motor. And it's not really the power that scares me, or like I'm not worried. I just wanted a more playful bike. That was my whole thing. I'm like, I'm getting older, I'm 35, I just want to be playful. And so I was really shopping the 250 category, even the 350 category. But I'm glad I stayed on the 450, because this bike, I did play around with some of the stock maps, and I tried the like linear torque, or like the smooth, there's like a slow map, like a slow map that's downloaded that comes with the app. And I tried that, and I actually wasn't clearing some of the jumps on my track. So it's kind of cool. You can tune these down to what I would imagine a 350 might feel like. But it tuned it down a lot. So I went back to the stock map because I actually didn't like the slower motor. Not saying I'm fast or anything. It just, I've been on a 450 for the last like 6 years. And so it was just, it's just, I just wasn't used to the lesser power, plus being 208 pounds. I'm definitely a heavier guy. I think I would have put some really hard hours on a 250 motor. So I'm glad I didn't go that route. If I ever had spare money laying around, which I don't see that ever happening in my life, maybe not, I don't know. But I'd probably buy me a 250 just to have, but I don't have like that laying around, so I'm really glad I went with the 450. But yeah, sorry, I don't mean to drag this video on. I hope those tips helped you guys. Leave comments, questions, anything. I'd love to talk to you guys in the comments. And then I'm gonna, after this video, upload a track update, because the track's been updated a lot and it's really exciting. And thank you guys for watching the videos, and I hope you guys are having a happy Veterans Day, and I hope you all have a great week. Thanks.